only was he awful to the indigenous people, he also raped them.
They should have taught us that in school, y'all.
He would give his lieutenants sex slaves, and he even wrote in one of his diaries that girls from age 9 to 10 were the most you guys used to sing as a kid in the playground, the Ring a Ring of Roses one. Well, it's actually a death song.
I heard about this one, y'all.
Roses is a song drug company Bayer.
What's up, one family? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody had a good Christmas, a happy holidays, happy New Year's, all that type of stuff. We're finna give y'all a reaction video to the top 10 facts that school never taught y'all. It get pretty wild, so make sure y'all stick around for the whole video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. It do help the channel out. And yeah, let's get straight into it, y'all.
Coming in at number 10, heroin used to be used as a children's cough syrup. German drug company Bayer made a heck of a lot of money selling heroin to parents. Get a load of these babies! Heroin was a prescription drug in the US until 1914, and then it was banned in 1924. Can you imagine how children would be after a sweet dose of Bayer heroin? Like, Christ. Coming in at number 9, Hugo Boss designs Nazi party uniforms. Hugo Boss is a luxury German fashion house that now sells its product globally and is frequently seen on runways.
What the fuck?
The designer brand started up in 1924 and originally supplied the Nazi party. This all went down before and during World War II. Comedian Russell Brand was actually even ousted from the GQ Man of the Year Awards after making Nazi jibes at the brand in 2013.
That's crazy.
Remember Thomas Edison from your history lessons? You know, the light bulb guy. Well, he had a very dark side that your teachers did not tell you about. He actually murdered an elephant, and this is coming in at number 8. Thomas Edison devoted his life to working with electricity. Unfortunately, he got pretty brutal when he needed to prove a point. In 1903, the American inventor murdered an elephant to prove that an alternating current was a bad idea. He even invited 1,500 people to watch as he murdered Topsy the elephant at Luna Park Zoo on Coney Island. He also filmed it and released the footage to the public, and it's actually really heartbreaking to watch. I would say I'd boycott light bulbs, but not really an option. Coming in at number 7, remember that song that you guys used to sing as a kid in the playground, the Ring a Ring of Roses one? Well, it's actually a death song.
I heard about this one, y'all.
Ring a Ring of Roses is a song about people dying from the plague. Ring a roses, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, we all fall down. You know how it goes. So Ring of Roses refers to the rash that plague victims would develop. The pocket full of posies refers to herbs that people would carry around to protect themselves from the plague. The tissue bit is like people sneezing like a sick person, and we all know what all fall down means. That's people physically dropping down dead and dying from the plague. Fun. Okay, next up. In school, I was taught a lot about the Roman Empire, but I was never taught this. At number 6, Romans used to use human urine, mouthwash, and crushed mouse brains as toothpaste.
Hold on.
Gross.
How does that help?
Brains out of my mouth. Brains out of my mouth. I guess they had to keep their breaths fresh somehow, but yeah, I don't know. Urine wouldn't be my choice. They also used urine to clean their clothes. This is basically because ammonia, which is found in pee, takes out stains. So basically, they were more concerned with having white teeth than fresh, non-pee smelling breath.
Okay.
Personally, I'd really pass on cleaning my teeth with pee and brains. Just a personal choice. Coming in at number 5, Saddam Hussein was actually given the key to the city of Detroit. History paints Saddam Hussein as a bad guy, mainly because he was indeed a bad guy. But nonetheless, after making a donation to a church in Detroit in 1979, basically because a reverend praised him, he was handed the city keys. The American history books aren't so proud of that one. Coming in at number 4, famous explorer Christopher Columbus used to rape children. Yeah, so I guess that kind of extinguishes the yay for Columbus and his explorations party. In some places, people even go as far as to celebrate a Christopher Columbus Day. The problem is, not only was he awful to the indigenous people, he also raped them.
They should have taught us that in school, y'all.
He would give his lieutenants sex slaves, and he even wrote in one of his diaries that girls from age 9 to 10 were the most desirable. Gross. Coming in at number 3, schools don't teach us much about Nazi twin experiments. I don't know how much history has shielded people, but
They should have taught us that one, y'all.
experiments that Nazi warlords did on concentration camp victims. Obviously, we know that they were gassed, but school history books do leave out a few choice facts. I know a lot about the Josef Mengele experiments, but that's because I've done extensive research on that area of history. A lot of people do not know about the veteran Nazis' sick experiments on twins and other such horrific medical tests. Mengele would inject chemicals into twins' bodies, especially their eyes, and try and change their colours. Later, when he was done with them, he'd murder them. Another Nazi, Isle Koch, allegedly made lamps from human skin. Coming in at number 2, we often don't know the extent of Japanese cruelty in World War II. Possibly because Hiroshima and Nagasaki were so horrific to humanity and the pain echoed throughout Japan for a great deal of time, the extent of Japanese killing in World War II is somewhat brushed over by history. Of course, all countries involved inflicted pain and suffering, but did you know that the Japanese torture methods were considered to be the most severe? Did you know that Japanese killed more Chinese soldiers than the number of the entire Jews killed in the Holocaust? Also, Japan wounded more Americans in Alaska than at Pearl Harbor. There were also swathes of reports of Japanese cannibalism and cruelty. Of course, this far into the future, we have to live and let live, but Nazi Germany gets the lion's share of the blame for atrocities, and Japanese war crimes are largely glossed over. Finally, just when you thought we were sort of semi-living in a time of peace, you may not know that Russia and Japan are technically still at war. Two powerful countries who are still sour post-World War II. Yeesh. Even though the countries haven't been engaging in hot war for over 70 years, they never signed a peace treaty officially indicating peacetime between the two nations. The pair still disagree heavily over the Kuril Islands. I for one really hope that they never engage in war again, because that could be devastating for everyone.
In our number 10 spot, we have the mosquito experiment. This experiment is truly the most surprising one to me on this list. I cannot believe how many people don't know about this. Apparently in 1956 and 1957, the US Army conducted a series of experiments on Georgia, Florida, and Savannah, where millions of infected mosquitoes were released into the public in order to see if insects could spread yellow fever. The result? Well, they learned that indeed they can. Of course, at the expense of the American people's health, as many died, many developed fevers, respiratory problems, stillbirths, and so much more. Allegedly, researchers posed as public health workers and asked people if they needed help in order to get close to them and observe them. Pretty evil in my opinion, and makes you wonder and hope that nothing like that is happening to us right now, but possibly at this moment in time, we are not aware of it. If you're liking this video so far, don't forget to smash that.
I think that was another video, y'all, but that was weird as hell too. If y'all like the video, make sure y'all leave a like and comment, subscribe. Yeah, till next time.